Welcome back to Pages with Sidra. In today's video, we're diving into Chapter 156 of Standard of Reincarnation, where the aftermath of Vincent and Carmen's intense duel shakes the entire Adenka family. From shocking reactions to a dangerous new mission, this chapter sets the stage for the next big conflict. So let's get right into it. The duel had ended. The arena had finally gone silent, yet the tension in the air still felt heavy. We see Carmen walking down the corridor with two of his subordinates. One of them is carrying Carmen's severed arm, the one that had been cut clean by Vincent's sword. Carmen's teeth grind together, his face twisted with rage. Inside his mind, fury burns hotter than ever. I won't accept this. I'll kill that Vincent, by any means necessary. But just as those hateful thoughts fill his head, Carmen suddenly stops. His eyes widen in disbelief. Father. From ahead, Khan, the lord of the house, approaches calmly. His presence alone is enough to freeze everyone in place. Khan looks at his son and speaks coldly. It will take a lot of effort to heal the arm severed by Vincent's sword path. Procure a miracle stone and summon a level 2 or higher priest. The two subordinates immediately bow. Yes, lord of the house. But as Khan walks past his injured son, his tone hardens even more. However, the treatment will only proceed after the investigation into the source of your blessings is complete. Carmen's eyes shake. His face trembles in fear. Meanwhile, the scene shifts back to the grand stadium, where the audience is still buzzing with excitement from the duel. Among the crowd, several reporters rush to get their stories out first. One of them shouts, "Run the article now. Our paper has to break it first." But another reporter suddenly yells out in shock, "Wait, someone's already published it." "What? That's impossible. The match just ended. Who could have?" It's wind sound. They already splashed Vincent's victory everywhere. Cut to Maria, the young journalist behind wind sound. A confident smile plays on her face as she says softly, From the moment the match began, the article was already written. The world itself seems to explode with the news. An event that hadn't happened in centuries. The youngest lord's uprising spread like wildfire through the empire. Every paper might have had its own headline, but all of them agreed on one thing. Vincent Adenka had achieved a divine leap, a victory that would lead the next generation. Crowds celebrate, citizens cheer his name, but not everyone is pleased. The scene cuts to a quiet chamber. A newspaper lies on a desk, and a sharp dagger suddenly pierces straight through it. The one holding it is none other than Fidenel Adenka, one of the family's elders. Her face is filled with fury as she snarls, "Vincent, that damned brat." Standing nearby is another elder, Iagal, who speaks cautiously. "Calm down, Elder Fidenel." But Fidenel slams her hand down in rage. "Do I look calm right now? That Vincent cut down every direct bloodline except the second daughter. Now no one can stop him. The only card left is that eccentric second daughter, who moves entirely on her own whims." The scene shifts to a quiet courtyard under the night sky. Moonlight reflects off the polished stone floors as Dia Adenka, the second daughter of the Adenka family, practices her sword alone. Her eyes hold focus and a hint of something deeper, determination. But then, the scene transitions once again, back to the chamber of the Adenka elders. Fidenel, still fuming from earlier, slams her hand on the table and speaks with venom in her tone. "Khan, that man succeeded in putting forward an heir beyond our influence. He could truly commit an unprecedented act, the overthrow of the Adenka Elder Council." Her words make even Iagal flinch. He swallows hard, beads of sweat running down his face. The room feels heavy with fear and tension. Just then, the doors creak open, and Delbecq, the third elder, enters. His expression is grim as he says coldly, "Given how things stand, we have no choice but to see this through to the end. One way or another, we must bring down that insolent Vincent. By any means necessary." The three elders exchange grim looks. And in that silence, a dark alliance takes root within the council itself. The scene shifts again, this time to the Crimson Fortress, where Vincent walks alongside Versa under the moon. Versa looks over at him, a knowing smile on her lips. "Congratulations," she says. "You'll earn the Elder Council's full hatred. A protruding stone is bound to be hammered down." Vincent smirks lightly in return. Once you've grown strong enough to dull those blows, it's fine. Versa chuckles softly, shaking her head. If I'm right, the Elder Council will soon promote you quickly. Vincent replies calmly. In exchange, they'll assign me an impossible mission. Or worse, the mission itself will be a trap, predictable. Versa's tone turns serious now. Don't let your guard down, Vincent. Those elders have guided the Adenka family for over 500 years. Even if greed has corrupted them, their strategies remain sharp. Predictable, yes, but deadly. You must suspect every condition you encounter on that mission. Vincent nods silently. I'll keep that in mind. Versa stops walking and places her right hand gently on Vincent's shoulder. Her expression softens. I originally planned not to interfere in the children's rivalry. But with you, Vincent, I keep letting go of my resolve. Vincent looks at her quietly, his thoughts drifting. It's different from what I experienced with my mother. He thinks. It feels completely different. After a moment, he looks up and asks softly, Tell me, is the one favoring me right now the Lady of Adenka? Or is it my mother? Versa blinks, startled by the sudden question. What? Vincent continues. I hope it's my mother. For a brief moment, Versa is speechless. But then, a gentle smile appears on her face. Perhaps it seems it was your mother. Vincent's eyes soften, and a rare warmth spreads across his face. Then, as your son, he says with a small smile, I'd like to ask a few favors. And with that line, the air between them shifts. No longer just lady and heir, but something far more personal. Something that might finally bridge the distance between them. After parting ways with Versa, Vincent walks into the Crimson Fortress. But suddenly, a loud, urgent voice calls out from behind. Vincent, Vincent. He turns toward the sound and spots none other than Fortress Commander Herka running toward him at full speed. Where have you been running off to since dawn? There's a big problem right now. Vincent blinks, surprised by her tone, as Herka thrusts a sealed scroll toward him. Read this right now. Vincent gives a small, knowing smile. Let me guess, the Elder Council has assigned me a mission? Probably as a special promotion condition. Herka freezes mid-breath, eyes wide. You knew about this too? Ugh, that gives me chills. Vincent chuckles softly and takes the scroll. I only had a tip from my mother. Let's see what this is about. He breaks the seal, unrolls the parchment, and his expression shifts instantly. On the scroll, bold words read, Mission Assignment Document. Exterminate the monsters that invaded the snow village Jillian in the Tursin Range. P.S. Treat Vincian Adenka, rank 8 cadet, as a provisional fortress warrior. Upon completion of this mission, he shall be formally promoted to fortress warrior. Adenka, Elder Council. Vincent's brows furrow. The handwriting might be elegant, but the intent behind it feels sharp as a blade. At his side, Julian's voice echoes softly in his mind. They're acting far bolder than expected. Vincent nods grimly. Yes, which means this mission will be even more dangerous. The scene shifts once more to the Adenka Elder Council chamber. Elder Delbeck, fury burning in his eyes. Elder Iagal, tense, murmurs carefully. However, Vincent now wields a force we cannot control. From the side, Elder Fidenel adds sharply. Then we must find a way to contain him. But Delbeck grins darkly. He possesses uncontrollable power. So what of it? If you cannot suppress an opponent with force, then topple him using the Elder Council's methods. Let's teach that brat Vincent how we truly fight. Their laughter echoes coldly through the chamber. A promise of manipulation and traps waiting to unfold. Far away, the camera pans to the snow-covered village of Jillian, nestled deep within the Tursin Range. The air is biting cold, the ground buried under a thick white blanket. A lone girl trembles, struggling to breathe in the freezing wind. Her wide eyes fixed on the monstrous shadow before her. From the mist emerges a giant beast. Its body massive like a dinosaur, yet shaped like a tiger, muscles rippling under fur the color of midnight. The creature lets out a thunderous roar, a sound that shakes the mountains themselves. Snow bursts into the air like shards of glass, and the girl's scream fades into the storm. And with that terrifying roar, the scene cuts to black. And that wraps up Chapter 156 of Standard of Reincarnation. Things are heating up fast, and with Vincent's next mission revealed, the danger has only just begun. Thanks for watching. And a huge shout out to all the amazing members who've joined the channel. Your support means everything. See you all in the next chapter.